Hey everybody, Cheryl Todd here from Gun Freedom Radio, and I have a special guest. What's your name?
Raelynn.
That's right. How did you know that?
Because I'm starting with R.
Because it starts with an R. Raelynn. I love it. So this is my granddaughter, and we read books together all the time, right? And so we thought that it would be really fun to read a story that was written by one of my favorite authors, Yehuda Remer. You might know him as the Pew Pew Jew. That's funny, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it's an awesome book for kids and adults, and it is called Safety On. You can read that, right?
Safety On.
Right. We've been practicing reading, and so that's pretty exciting for us. So this is an introduction to the world of firearms for children, and it's so important to start kids on the safety aspects of guns as early as humanly possible. Just like, you know, there's a drawer full of knives in the kitchen, right? And we're teaching you how to safely use that when you make your own peanut butter and jelly.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite jelly?
Strawberry, peanut.
Yep. And bread.
And chips too, and chocolate.
And chocolate, of course. There's always got to be dessert involved, right? I mean, let's get our priorities straight. Okay, here we go. This is page 1. It says, "Hi, my name is Kyle, and one day I am going to be just like my dad." That's interesting. I wonder what his dad is like. "My dad likes to go shooting. He has lots of guns. He has big ones and small ones, long ones and short ones, black ones, green ones, and even a pink one for my mom." Does your mom have pink guns? She might. I think she's got a teal one. Teal for 2A. Oh, she's giving me a sad face across the room. We're gonna have to work on that. All right. "I have my own guns too, but mine are toys. Guns, even pretend ones, can be dangerous. My dad told me to always treat every gun as if it were loaded and ready to shoot, and never point them at people," right? "Even if I'm only pretending. When I'm done playing with my guns, I always make sure they are safe and clean. I put them in a safe place so my baby brother can't get them, just like my dad does." Do you have a baby brother? No. You have a baby sister. Yes. And so she doesn't know anything about guns yet. So we're going to have to teach her too, right? Mm-hmm. "My dad has a big safe. It's bigger than me. His guns are always locked up inside of it. I know I am never, ever allowed to touch one without my dad's help. And if I do see a gun somewhere that it's not supposed to be, my dad taught me what to do." Do you remember this part? What does Eddie Eagle say? Stop.
Don't touch, run away, tell a grown up.
Perfect. That's awesome. "I want to be safe just like my dad. My dad tells me guns are important. He says they can be used for good things or bad things. Policemen, soldiers, and even regular people like my dad and mom carry guns to protect their families and their neighbors. He said it's a human right to own a gun. It's a human right. But he also said you need to be very careful when using a gun because it is dangerous and it can hurt someone." Right?
Right.
What's this guy?
The soldier.
Soldier. Yep. What's this guy?
Officer.
Police officer. Yep. What are these guys?
Peoples.
Like a family, huh? That almost looks like your family right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're tall and your sister is little in the stroller. Mm-hmm. "Sometimes my dad takes me to a gun range. It's a place where people can practice shooting their guns. Just like at home, there are special rules that you need to follow at all times at a gun range. You always wear ear protection. Why?
Because we can't hear it.
Because it's loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we always wear eye protection, glasses of some sort. Do you know why we do that?
Why?
Because, you know, as the shell is ejecting, it could hit us in our eye, right? Or something like that. So we want that kind of protection. You don't want to get hurt. Treat all guns as if they are loaded. Yep. Make sure the gun is always pointed downrange and away from people, right? Always keep your finger away from the trigger until you're ready to shoot. And before leaving, make sure your gun is unloaded and the safety is on, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you follow these rules, everyone will be safe.
And don't touch them.
That's right, without an adult, right?
Mm-hmm.
When my dad comes home, he again checks to be sure that his guns have no bullets in them before he cleans them. He says you need to be very careful so that there are no accidents and no one gets hurt. Before my dad puts his guns away in his safe, he always double checks that the safety is on, right? The safety makes it more difficult for the gun to fire or to go off by accident. After he is done, I hold the safe door open so it won't close on my dad. It must be a big safe, right? He lets me check to make sure it is locked because we want to be as safe as possible. I practice gun safety every day. Do you know what that is?
Key.
It looks like a key, doesn't it? That'd be the key to being safe because it's a little safety lever on the side of a gun, right? I know not to touch guns without permission. Do you know what that says?
Stop.
It does say stop. Did you read that or did you guess?
I guess.
You guessed good. I know to tell an adult if I see a gun somewhere it's not supposed to be.
Right here.
Wow, that looks like maybe somebody left it on a playground or in the park.
Or in the key room.
In the key room? Yeah, it could happen, right? We don't know what a key room is, but if you have one and somebody leaves a gun laying around, don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Right?
Or you can't step on it and maybe it's going to break.
Don't step on it either because maybe it's going to break.
Yeah.
It could happen. I never point my guns at anyone, even if I'm pretending.
Mm-hmm.
I put my guns away in a safe place and make sure they are clean. Do you know what that is?
Oh, this is a clean.
It's a safe.
Safe.
It's a big safe. I treat all guns as if they are always loaded. Do you know what that is?
Loaded.
Loaded. Do you know what that thing right there is?
No.
It's a bullet inside of the what?
Gun.
Yep. Which means it is loaded. Loaded. Never point your gun at anything you are not willing to destroy.
No.
That's a big word. Destroy, right?
Yeah. Don't destroy things.
Don't destroy things. Keep your finger off the trigger and outside of the trigger guard until you are ready to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
That's called trigger discipline, finger discipline, right? You keep your finger on the side. You don't put it down in that trigger area, right? We work on that with your water guns and stuff, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Know your target and what's behind it. You see a target? What's behind it?
Grass.
Grass. So that looks like a pretty safe place to go shooting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
are safe in all times and you can't touch it.
You're exactly right. I showed my mom and dad that I can be safe, and now I am just like my dad. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
And then there are the rules again for safety. And that is safety.
On.
Say it again.
Safety on.
Awesome book. I recommend this for families to read together, to read to kids. Raelynn, how old are you? 5. And see how much she knows already?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to start early, right?
Yeah, you have to turn to 5 weeks.
In 5 weeks. You can learn this in way faster than 5 weeks. I bet you anything. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us. This was very fun for us. Did you like that book?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think everybody should get this book?
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Say thank you, Yehuda.
Thank you, Yehuda.
Thanks, everybody. Bye now.